Hi, everybody. I'm Art Lewis.
I'm Ann Williams.
And welcome to another edition of the Listen to the Missus podcast, coming to you from the studios of WSGW Radio in Saginaw, Michigan, where the show held forth for 66 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And now it is a podcast. And you all get the benefit of it. We got a lot to do today. Ann's got some new products for you. We're gonna delve into a little food humor here in a little while. And more food products and some interesting stories and a recipe or two. So hang around for that. So begin, if we will.
Well, you know how all these companies lately, Oreos, M&Ms, Lay's potato chips, are having these contests to find new flavors, new unique flavors. Okay, well, M&M's had one. They started one at the beginning of the year for new peanut M&M flavors, and they just announced the winner today. They've had several contenders out there, but the winner was English toffee nut M&Ms.
I thought peanut was the flavor. I didn't know.
So, well, no, they're going to add this new, they have variations.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
so they're going to add this English toffee nut flavor starting this month. You should be able to find it in stores right about now.
You know, it's interesting. You used to, if you wanted M&Ms, you went in the store, you knew what the pack looked like. You just grabbed it.
Right.
That was it.
Now you have lots of choices.
You got to look now to see what you're getting.
But they came out with the contest, I think, started in January, and people have been voting. People have been buying these and voting on them, and this was the favorite. So the other two contenders that were the top were Mexican jalapeno peanut, which is strange.
Oh, really?
And Thai coconut peanut, which sounds interesting. But at any rate, these are going to be in stores, and then will be available for the next 18 months in U.S. stores. So that sounds appealing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sure.
One more. You mentioned this one also. Krispy Kreme. We don't have Krispy Kremes around here, but I think there's some in Michigan somewhere.
There
Probably
were.
down
I know
south.
there was one in Flint, but I think it closed.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
But sometimes you can find their donuts. I know Speedway carries their donuts around
Speedway.
here.
Yep.
But across the country, people have Krispy Kremes, and they love them. I love them. So they've got this new flavor that sounds so delicious. Oh, my word. It's filled with a Reese's cream. It is peanut butter, Reese's Original Filled Peanut Butter Lovers Donut. And it's a chocolate glazed donut filled with creamy Reese's peanut butter topped with chocolate fudge icing and drizzled with Reese's peanut butter icing.
And for those that might think it's just one of those solid donuts they squirt the stuff into, not
It's
at
like
all.
all the way through, it looks
It's
like.
all the way. It's a ring. It's a regular donut with a hole, and the filling is all the way inside of it. And I'm trying to figure out, how do they make that? The only thing I could figure out is they have some kind of mold that they pour in the first part of the donut, then squirt on the filling, and then cover it with dough again and bake it. Because it's like, you ever seen these pizza crusts with the filling? But those, they roll at the end. I don't see how they roll a donut dough like that.
I don't know, but they're doing it.
They're doing
it. If you are a fan of the chocolate peanut butter combination, and I don't really know who is not, I certainly am. Those sound absolutely delicious, and I think I should stay far, far away from them.
Both of us.
Yes.
Both of us.
So those are mine, and you had some products too, right?
I do. And this one is, I'm sorry, folks, I'm going to mention the word already. Christmas.
Oh, well.
But the folks at Oreos are way ahead of the game because they are bringing back, and boy, I like these, peppermint bark Oreos.
Oh.
Back for the holidays. And it's a cookie that's got peppermint bark filling in it.
Well, again, the chocolate and peppermint combination
Yeah.
is chocolate and mint. A
Oh.
lot of people like it.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite. Here is something from Twix. Twix chocolate ice cream bars. Literally, they look like Twix except they're ice cream, and it's wow. They look
Why not?
fabulous.
Snickers has them. I've seen the Snickers.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Each bar is 160 calories with chocolate ice cream, caramel, and crunchy chocolate cookies with a chocolate coating, of course. So there you go.
All righty.
And now for my laugh of the day, not part of our humor. I have to talk about McDonald's in England, the UK. The good folks at McDonald's in the UK were trying to be earth conscious and recycle and all that stuff. And they, of course, were using plastic straws. Now, the thing about their plastic straws is they were recyclable. But what they were saying was that the old plastic straws were 100% recyclable, but when it came to recycling, the flimsy straws are pretty difficult to sort, which means they were much more likely to end up in the landfill than actually be recycled. So they came up with a new paper straw. Mm-hmm. Sounds good on the surface, doesn't it? Well, what they found out was their paper straw was a little flimsy, so they had to make it a little thicker. So they made the straw a little thicker, and now it's too thick to be processed by the waste solution companies. In other words, they can't recycle the paper straws.
So they defeated their whole purpose,
in jolly old England would that happen.
Wow.
They're just too thick to be recycled. The fast food company admits the new paper versions, hated by customers, by the way, are not actually recyclable and must be binned and burned.
Oh, boy. Binned and burned. That sounds very British.
But doesn't it? Doesn't it? It does.
Yes.
All right. Well, since that's a funny story, sort of, and not for them, little humor here. All right? Food humor. And I love finding food humor. This is good stuff. First, we're going to talk about the problem with speaking English.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, in Japan, they eat very little fat, and they suffer fewer heart attacks than we do.
Yeah, you don't see
No,
obese
you don't see
Japanese
that,
people
right.
except for sumo wrestlers.
But guess what? Mexicans and Hispanics eat a lot of fat, and they still suffer fewer heart attacks than we do. So
Are they eating better fats?
I don't know.
Avocados and
But let's look at a couple of others now. The Chinese, they drink very little red wine and suffer fewer heart attacks than we do. Italians drink excessive amounts of red wine, and they suffer fewer heart attacks than we do. And Germans, they drink beer and eat lots of sausages and fats and suffer fewer heart attacks than we do.
So what are we doing wrong?
Conclusion, eat and drink what you like. Apparently speaking English is apparently what kills you.
Well, I don't know.
Appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
Appetizers are little things
Right.
that you eat until you lose your appetite.
Isn't that true?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It is absolutely true. Here's a food riddle. What do you get when you cross 1,000 years with 1,000 chocolate cakes?
What do you get?
The start of a new millennium yum yum. There are two kinds of people who shouldn't eat to excess.
Okay.
Men and women.
That's true. I was going to say, who's left out of that?
Oh, my goodness, yes. Let's see here. Name the 4 current food groups.
Breads and starches, I guess. Meats, vegetables, and fats.
I can tell you've been restricting your diet. Fast, frozen, junk, and instant. And you know the trouble with buying health food?
What is it?
Its high price really makes you sick.
Yeah. It can. You just got to be discriminating. But
yeah.
you go in a health food store, it can be pricey.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's all the humor you've ever wanted to hear. There is no more.
I have some more.
I
Just
figured.
a couple more. I have
figured.
some funny food tweets.
Funny food tweets.
Mhm.
Ooh,
People
can't wait
tweeted
to hear
about
this.
food. Here's one. I like eating salt and vinegar chips because it hurts a little, and I feel like I deserve that for choosing to eat chips. Are we supposed to just accept that gingerbread men live in houses built from the flesh of their fellow men? Here's another one. Why would you cut... This is somebody who called up a pizza place after they ordered a pizza. Why would you cut my pizza so uneven? If you're trying to tear my family apart, it's working.
Yeah.
And finally, here's one we can relate to in our building. Office culture is someone bringing in donuts and everyone, for some reason, refusing to take a whole one and cutting off 3/8 of the donut. And then at the end of the day, there's like 17/25 of 9 different donuts left.
Whoever wrote that story has been to our kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah. Why'd the farmer run a steamroller over his potato field for Thanksgiving Day?
Why'd he do that?
He wanted to raise mashed potatoes.
Ba-dum-bum.
Brum, bum, 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 bum.
Oh, we were talking. You said you've already seen Gordon Ramsay's new show.
I did.
Yeah,
Part of it.
he's
Yeah.
got a new show on the National Geographic Channel,
Yeah.
and it's reminiscent, very much
It's-
reminiscent of the Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown.
Yeah, and I think it's
kind of-
called Gordon Ramsay
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Yeah,
Uncharted.
and it is. It's reminiscent of Andy Bourdain because here you have a chef traveling the world doing food stuff.
Mhm.
It's a little different in that he travels the world looking for the ingredients for a particular
And then he makes a
meal,
dish at the end.
and
I
he
heard.
makes a meal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, but still,
Yeah.
you look at Gordon Ramsay Uncharted, and you
Yeah.
go, "Oh, those similarities are too close."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I was a little offended by it. I haven't seen the show yet, but I really enjoyed Anthony Bourdain and really respected what he did.
I did too.
And I feel like maybe it's too soon.
Well, and it's
A,
too
too
close.
soon and B, too close.
And it's too
Let
close.
him have that.
But
That was what
that's-
he did best.
Yeah, that's
He was the
Gordon
only
Ramsay.
first one to do it and did it great. And why is he trying to, doesn't he have enough?
Gordon
food shows?
Ramsay is becoming much like Bobby Flay. Every time you turn on the Food
There he
Network,
is.
it's Bobby Flay. You
Yeah.
know? Well, every time you turn on Bravo or one of the others,
Yeah.
there's Ramsay, whether it's Master
you know,
Chef
you-
or Hell's Kitchen
you can
or all
talk
those other
about-
shows.
Gordon Ramsay's personality, and he turns off a lot of people because of his, I don't know, yelling.
Yeah.
And Anthony Bourdain was kind of a surly guy too, but
Oh,
in a
very
different
much
kind
so.
of way.
Yeah, very much so.
In a different kind of way, though.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
in a mean way, I don't think.
No, and Bourdain, it wasn't all about Bourdain.
Right.
This is all about Ramsay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all about Ramsay.
Just our opinion. So,
Yeah,
and
that's
I haven't
all.
seen it yet. Art has.
Just our opinion,
Yeah.
folks. Just our opinion.
Yeah.
And in talking to chef friends of mine, some of which who've met him, say that he's an excellent chef.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's deserved his Michelin stars.
Well, I know he has.
So
Yeah, he has a great
he's
reputation.
got chops,
Mm-hmm.
but he's developed this TV personality,
Yeah.
which has built a brand. You
Yeah.
can't fault him for it.
Yeah.
He's built a brand,
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time for a recipe. We can talk
Yeah.
about real food.
Yeah, we had a request from one of our listeners for this recipe called chocolate crinkle cookies, which I think was an entrant in one of our cook-offs at one time.
Yeah.
And chocolate crinkle cookies. So it calls for 2 cups plus 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a half teaspoon of salt, a half cup of butter or margarine softened, 1 3/4 cups of sugar, 3 large eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, 4 ounces of unsweetened chocolate melted, and a half cup of powdered sugar. What you do with all that is you mix the flour, baking powder, and salt, your dry ingredients. Then another bowl, your wet ingredients, your butter. Actually, cream your butter and sugar together till fluffy. Beat your eggs into that till they're pale yellow. Blend in the chocolate and the vanilla. And then add in those dry ingredients that you mixed to begin with. Mix just to blend. And then you want to chill this dough for about an hour. Preheat your oven to 350. Shape the balls, the dough that is, into 1-inch balls. And then you're going to roll each ball in powdered sugar.
Mm.
And you place these 1 inch apart on a greased cookie sheet. I like to use parchment.
Absolutely.
Bake them about 12 minutes or till the tops are puffed and crackled. They get that nice
Yeah,
crackly. That's why they're
ooh,
called chocolate
yeah.
crinkle cookies.
Very
You
good.
don't want to overbake these, and you just let them cool on a rack.
All right.
Chocolate crinkle cookies.
All right, let's. I want you to leave you with this thought. We
Okay.
talked about The Office before and how food
Right.
doesn't last and
Mhm.
donuts get cut up.
Mhm. Oh, you bring anything in here, and
No,
you want to get rid of something
Well,
at home, bring it in
here
here.
you are. One of the benefits of eating healthier is you never have to ask the question, "Who ate my salad?"
That
Think
is
about
true.
it.
That is true.
That'll do it for this edition of our Listen to the Missus podcast. Until the next time, I'm Art Lewis
I'm Ann Williams.
from the studios of WSGW. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget, You can ask us questions by going to WSGW.com.
And looking for the Listen to the Missus page there.
Listen to the Missus page, or
Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Listen to the Missus, and you can email us. My email is ann@WSGW.com.
And mine is Art Lewis, one word, ARTLEWIS, @WSGW.com. We'll see you the next time on our Listen to the Missus podcast.